This is Mitch Bolo for Indigenous Insights. Welcome to the Canada interviews for the KBIC elections 2021. In the studio with us, we have Suzie Elmblad. Suzie, welcome to the studio.
Jimmy Gwitch for inviting me down, Mitch.
All right, so here's the official business. I've collected a pool of questions from the KBIC tribal members' Facebook groups. I've written the questions onto these cards. I've shuffled the cards. You've witnessed it. I'll ask a question, you answer, and we move on. Sound good?
Yes.
All right, let me scroll down here a little bit. So these are straight shot videos, other than the fact that this camera right here only shoots in 10-minute segments. I have a timer set here. We'll have to reset once in a while. Other than that, same rules as before. Don't talk about other people in a negative light, trying to keep it as positive as possible. Sound good?
Yes.
I'm running out of breath here. All right. Why don't you go ahead and give yourself a little bit of an introduction before we start the questions?
Bonjour, my name is Suzie Elmblad. I am running for the Berga district for the general election on December 18th. I am the daughter of late Mahone Carlson and Carol Carlson. I have two beautiful daughters, Shayla and Shania, and I am married to my husband, Brian Jar Elmblad. I have worked for the KBIC for over 16 years in a various background and departments. I've gained a lot of knowledge and experience over the years. I currently am the director for the Elder Nutrition Program, and I'm very, very proud to serve our elders of the community. And I'm just excited to see what happens with the outturn of the general elections, and I am ready to serve our community if elected.
All right. I've caught my breath here a little bit. Are you ready for the questions?
Yes.
All right. First one comes from Ariel Goujon. How familiar are you with our Constitution, laws, and the Treaty of 1842?
I'm not very familiar with our Constitution. Actually, I was thinking that I should enroll in KBOCC and take some government classes, especially if elected, just because I need to have a strong background in regards to our history. I have taken classes in the past, but I definitely need to be a little bit more knowledgeable. And if elected, of course, I always reach out for answers and questions if I don't know the answer.
This next one comes from Dale Shelifo. Would you support improving the line of communication with the membership at large? For example, restarting the tribal newsletter or overhauling the website to include a members-only portal, including private live streaming, to include viewing closed session, especially for our elders during a pandemic?
I am definitely in favor of bringing back the newsletter. However, I felt that a lot of the information was old information. I think that the communication is important with the newsletter. A lot of people that don't live in our area rely on that paper just to keep track on what's going on here in Berga and on the reservation. As far as the tribal member portal, I think that's a wonderful idea. I also think that we need to have a different setting with the council meetings where more of the community can come in and actually have room to sit down and be comfortable. And I also think that each speaker needs to have a microphone so they can be heard. And I think that it would be wise to move the meetings like at a later time or try to work with the community so more people can attend.
All right. This one's from Catherine Sherman. How do you confront injustice?
Ask questions, get the facts, and go from there. I mean, it depends on what the injustice situation is.
Please give an example of something you have done to build community.
Well, I embrace, supporting different causes within the community. I'm a small business owner, so I do have a lot of people reach out, especially when there's fundraisers and basket raffles. I definitely am all about supporting and donating monetary contributions and products from my store. I also believe in higher education, of course. I definitely support my children. I have a daughter that's 6 in kindergarten, so I just joined BEST this year. Previous years, I worked with BEST as well with my daughter, Shayla. So, yes, I do what I can, for sure.
This one comes from Lori Denemy. As a candidate for council, do you feel we have adequate doctor care for our people? If not, will you push to improve our health care?
I definitely feel that we need more educated doctors to make more wise decisions with our health care. It just seems that, doctors come and go. We have never really had a stable doctor that really gets to know us as people and know our health. So yes, I definitely am in support of us getting a good line of medical care.
All right, this one comes from Peg Hellier, and she is like the representative of the Offer as Members group. According to the bylaws of the KBIC Article 3, Section 4, the meetings of the Tribal Council, except executive session, shall be public to the community. How do you feel about the council holding closed sessions when all council members are present and not permitting members of the community to attend the meetings or view the meetings via streaming?
I don't necessarily agree with the way closed session is handled, just because it feels like there's a lot of secretive information that the membership is not knowing about. So I think that information should be open to our members.
This is another one from Dale Schellenfo. Do you support overhauling our IRA-era Constitution? Would the overhaul include ending the disenfranchisement of the Offer as membership?
Can you please repeat the question?
All right.
I'm sorry.
We'll break it down. So the first part is, do you support overhauling our IRA-era Constitution, the Indian Reorganization Act era Constitution? Do you support overhauling that?
Yes.
All right. And would the overhaul include ending the disenfranchisement of the Offer as membership?
I believe that, we as a tribe are stronger together. I believe that we should include Offer as members, just because there's a lot of talented people out there. There's a lot of educated people out there that don't live here that actually could help us tribe as a whole. And I feel that if they were more included, that, that would be a higher advantage of KBIC.
So to continue the follow-up from his question, he says, is there a compromise that you would support, such as in-person voting, when it comes to the disenfranchisement of the Offer as membership? I'm guessing what he's asking is, if you're not willing to let every KBIC member vote, is there a compromise somewhere in the middle? If I'm translating that right.
Well, the absentee ballots, are definitely a solution if we were to include, Offer as wherever they live. At least, they have that opportunity to vote. Okay.
And that was when we had difficulty in the last interview kind of interpreting there, but that is the way it's written. Dale, if you want to if I'm asking that wrong, Dale, if you're watching, just go ahead and reach out to me and we can reword that or something. This next one comes from Serene Gauthier. Explain your volunteer work within the community.
Well, again, I think I kind of covered some of the bases in one of the previous answers, but as a small business owner, I contribute when I can. I donate, to different causes. I've been a part of the Baraga County Chamber of Commerce. Within the school system, I volunteer when I can. In the past, I went out and got donations for the kickball game that we'd hold up at Boise.
I hate to interrupt you, but I think we have to reset for a second.
Okay.
All right, that camera is reset. I just got shocked in my ear when I was doing that. I don't know how that happened. Sorry about that, but
that's okay. Well, Boise Field, we used to have kickball games there, and I went out and I, got donations from the local businesses. I've helped out with the veterans holiday parties, decorating, and just setting up Thanksgiving meals. I've delivered meals to the elders that are homebound. There's a lot. So I can't name specifics, but yes, I volunteer when I can for our community.
All right, so this next one comes from Stephen Denemy, and he actually has kind of two questions here. And the first one asks about volunteering. So since you just dealt with that, we will skip to the second question on his card here, which is how do you plan on making time to be a competent council member for your people?
Time management definitely would be key if elected. I'm a busy mom. I have a full-time job for the KBIC as the Elder Nutrition Director, and then my kids are involved with a lot of things. So I definitely, and I'm a business owner, which my husband helps out a lot in that part. But definitely time management would be key for my success as a councilwoman. Or any day.
Yep. All right. So this one is from Bobby St. Arnold's. There is a lot of talk amongst tribal members regarding the condition of certain tribal businesses. What strategic initiatives will you put into place to address and rectify these issues?
Well, first off, the maintenance issues, and a lot of our businesses need attention. Our laundromat, our car wash, our key, I believe. Just the upkeep in our gas stations that bring money in, definitely. We need to keep those clean and everything functional. The gas pumps, everything like that. The casino, that's just an ongoing project. So we definitely need to ensure that everything is up to par for our main moneymaker. Currently, but the main focus, I think, is investing in our cannabis businesses.
This next one's from Dale Shelifo. What is your current, or there's kind of, this question breaks down. Should I read it all at once, or do you want me to break it down?
You can read it all at once.
All right. What is your opinion on the current state of tribal housing? Does the current inventory of homes meet the needs of the membership? If not, what should be undertaken to improve the housing options for the current tenants as well as those looking to move back to the reservation?
Well, I worked for Ojibwa Housing Authority back in 2012, I believe it was. I worked there for about 2 years. And we overturned houses quickly with the group that I worked with. And people were moving in, people were moving out. It was a constant flow. Currently, I see houses that, are sitting vacant for months and months and months, and there's people on waiting lists that say, that they have years before they're even considered. A lot of emergency situations, surpass the people that are on the waiting list, but we definitely need more housing opportunities. And talking to some of the elders, they're in the apartment complexes. We have a lot of single families out there, single individuals, so they get these one-bedroom apartments, but then it's also mixed in with elders. So to me, I feel like we need to separate the elders where the elders are just in one apartment complex. The younger people are together, especially, with just privacy and noise issues and things like that. And I also believe, we need to get some type of nursing home or assistant living complex for elders. There's many out there that need to have adequate care, I believe. So those are definitely important issues.
All right, this one is from Dale Shelfo. Do you support more outreach and business partnerships with other tribes? Why, in your opinion, have we not partnered with another tribe to date?
Well, from my understanding, we have reached out to some tribes, but I think collaboration across the board would be key. I mean, working together would make us stronger. There's more heads that can, ponder ideas and execute, success. I also think that we should collaborate more where some of our programs, that we offer, in different grants, that they're utilizing and just just collaboration all around. I mean, we can learn from each other for sure.
This one's from Sheila Helverson. I'm not warmed up this morning yet. How important is cultural and language revitalization to you?
I think it's definitely very important. I myself would like to attend, some of Howard's teachings in the evenings. It's been a little difficult lately, but I see that there are more opportunities lately, it seems, and I think that's important, and we need to carry that on.
This is from Carol Lapointe. Do you support term limits?
I do support term limits, just because, like currently, I feel that, the tribe, we've had a lot of council members that, have sat for years and years, and I just feel that we need new faces and new ideas for new beginnings. Term limits would, just help a rotation of different leadership to come forth and offer their services to our community.
This is from Bobby St. Arnold. What strategies would you work to put into place to end the illegal drug epidemic on KBIC land?
Well, I believe that our law enforcement needs to be more strong, and our court system need to be more hard, I would say, on the convictions. I feel that everybody knows, where the problem is, but nobody's addressing it. So I've heard from other people talking that, they need help from the community, but in the long term, it starts with our law enforcement.
This one's from Peg Hellier and the AFRES members group. How do you feel about virtual sessions / town halls open to all tribal members where people could present their ideas, priorities, concerns, and wishes to the full tribal council for their consideration?
I think that's a wonderful idea, and I think that, talking about changing the place of the council meetings and maybe the way that we run them, where bring back more traditional aspects, gathering, feasting, visiting first, and make it more of a social event. I think that, we would get a lot farther and involve, everybody's input if we did change the setting, the way we conduct council meetings.
There's another one from Peg Hellier and the AFRES members group. How do you feel about using a talking stick when proposals are presented in a council meeting so that everyone is focusing on the speaker?
I think that would be a wonderful idea, just because, it's bringing back that traditional element that, our ancestors used to use. And I think that would gain more respect amongst each other, and a tool to use just to honor our 7 generations.
This is from Rachel Brady. She said, I would say it'd be great to hear from candidates about how they will implement changes on things like term restrictions, blood quantum, and off-res voting. You spoke on term restrictions and off-res voting. What's your opinion on blood quantum?
Well, that honestly is a touchy subject for me, just because, I am a quarter. My father was half. I don't know the history on, where his family came from. So to me, I feel that, I'm more Native just because I look more Native, and I wasn't brought up traditionally because of, my father was treated differently because he was Native American. So I think that was, part of my upbringing, because, he was shunned as a child because of it. But, I have 2 nieces and nephews that are tribal, and then I have 2 that are not, and they have the same parents. So, there's a lot of craziness that has happened over the years in regards to enrollment. But I do think that we need to expand and be more creative with our membership and enrollment procedures, just because, one day I feel that we'll be gone.
Reset that camera really quick, but we can keep it on your view, so we're still continuing here.
Okay.
Is that all you had to comment on blood quantum?
Yes.
All right. So this next one is from Dale Shelifo. I'm sorry if that breaks your rhythm when I do that.
Oh, you're fine.
What can and should we do to financially support and incentivize our youth to invest in themselves via formal training and education? What about our tribal adults who might be looking to change careers or pursue an education later in life, especially those wanting to return to the area to contribute?
Well, KBOCC is a fine start. We need to invest in more educational opportunity, especially in the trades. The welding industry here is definitely in need. That's what this town, offers a lot of is welding opportunities. I see like an apprenticeship opportunities with our youth that, would help inspire them and see, what interests them and what they want to work towards as a career.
All right, this one's from Bruce LaPointe Sr. Has each candidate actually visited every department of the tribe in the past 3 months?
No, I have not. With the pandemic going on, a lot of the departments are closed. I go in and out of the tribal center to conduct the business that I need to do. Otherwise, I am at the Ojibwa Seniors working, and I'm visiting here at the radio studio today, and so no, I have not.
This one's from Sheila Halverson. When someone passes away or there's a cultural event, there are usually only the same 4 council members in attendance. If you are voted in to become a tribal council member, will you make it a priority to support your people in times of grief and prayer?
Yes, I definitely would make time to make an appearance. I do, send food donations, flower donations, monetary donations when I can currently. So if elected, I feel that, that would be a part of my representation to the people, is to show support in their time of sorrow.
This one's from Peg Hellier in the Alfres members group. Are you willing to improve the technology so that all members can attend meetings virtually like other tribes have done?
Well, I think that question kind of ties back to another question that I had answered. So, yes, I think we need to, invest in some type of tribal membership portal so there's more communication.
All right, I've been waiting for this one. This is another long one. This one's from Sylvia Murray, and I appreciate all questions, by the way, but my reading skills and speaking skills are tested on ones like this. From Sylvia Murray. Are you familiar with historical trauma and the intergenerational transfer of that trauma upon tribal families and communities? Are you familiar with the components of this trauma, being high rates of substance abuse and lateral violence and their impact within families and communities? If so, do you see it as a problem at KBIC, and what solutions would you propose to address it? If not familiar, would you be willing to learn more?
Well, I'm familiar with just some of the history that I've learned, in some of the classes that I've taken with KBOCC. I'm familiar with, my father's upbringing, the stories of the orphanage, and just how, children were taken away and sent to different parts of the United States, basically, to try to better themselves or, get them different jobs. A lot of my family, I know, was relocated to Chicago. So I'm familiar with some of the history and some of the stories, and I'm always willing to learn more.
Another one from Peg Hellier in the Alfres members group. How do you feel about instituting a formal way for tribal members to submit questions to the council? In your view, how could this happen?
Well, if they can't do it in person, of course, just like today, how Zoom meetings are handled. There's a person that can address questions or relay those questions to those involved in the Zoom meeting. So I think there are definitely many different ways we could look at finding a solution. So obviously in person, if they're not able to be there, they would need to have somebody that would be able to bring those questions forward.
All right, and we're going to do a quick reset, and that'll take us towards the end. All right, and we are continuing on here. We are reset. Another one from Dale Shalifo. Do you support borrowing from our elders trust fund to underwrite tribal business ventures?
Well, what's done is done. We needed the money to support, investing in our casino, investing in our cannabis businesses. It's definitely time to pay that money back. And I don't feel that we should be touching any of those funds until, we figure out what we're doing. We need to regain our savings and not be reliant on those funds, because those are, to support our elders, and someday we will be elders too.
I'm pretending I didn't hear that. All right. Peg Hellier, Off-Res Members Group. A good, simple one here. Why are you running for tribal council?
Well, the main reason is I feel that KBIC needs to be more productive. I feel like we should be a thriving tribe by now. We were the first in Indian gaming. We are one of the first in the cannabis industry. However, we would have been the first. I just don't know, what takes us so long to get things accomplished. I feel that I'm a go-getter. I am somebody that would work hard for the community. And I just feel that our council needs somebody like me just to help move us along.
All right, we are getting close to the end here. We might be able to get one or two, or maybe even three, depending. Lynn Kedela, what type of business endeavors would you support that tribal council create?
Well, I definitely support our cannabis business. It's a multi-million-dollar industry. I think that we need to look at different avenues in regards to the cannabis industry. There's many different routes we could take. We could focus on CBD. We could focus on, paper. I mean, the United States is one of the biggest countries that utilize paper. So, that is one big, huge opportunity there and it would definitely soften the carbon footprint. And that is something that we should always, keep in mind in regards to businesses. I think that we need to focus on food sovereignty as well. We have the resources, we need to invest and think about the future. Food is going up in cost. It's getting harder and harder to feed our families. What are we eating? At least if we grew our own meats, we grew our own vegetables and did it in a traditional way, I believe that it would help people overall, not only financially but health-wise.
All right, very good. And I think that if I'm timing this out right, now would be the time to give your last words to the viewers and voters out there.
Sure. Well, my name is Suzie Elmblad, and I am representing the Berga district, and I am just looking for support from our community to make a change and vote for new faces for new beginnings. Chimigwich for your time today, Mitch, and I just want to wish everybody happy holidays and a happy new year, and please get out and vote on December 18th. The Marquette Trust property votes on December 16th, and just vote from your heart. That's what I think people need to do.